Hi everyone, you're watching Starting Out Solitary. My name's Owlvine. This week we're talking about when you no longer resonate with your path. If you're feeling like something isn't quite right in your spiritual practice, if something isn't working for you anymore, or if there's some kind of edginess or an feeling, it means that most likely you require some kind of change in your practice. Whether that's bringing something in, whether that's allowing more flow into your practice, learning new things, whatever it is, it's something that you've got to figure out. It could be anything that would help you. It's a really important step to take. However, if you're out and out feeling like your path is not resonating with you anymore, and you know that that's what it is, it doesn't feel right, you need some kind of massive change up, then I would encourage you to make those changes. You are not required to be anything. You are not required to follow any kind of spiritual or religious path for anyone else's sake. Spirituality is ultimately between you and the divine. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. Even if you are in some kind of community or some kind of group of people who worship in the same way, you don't owe your happiness and your purpose to those people. What matters in spirituality is your relationship to divinity. So if you're feeling like the way you're practicing now isn't right for you anymore, then I would really encourage you to start looking elsewhere. That's something that I did, and I ended up finding myself on this path from Christianity to here. And it was something that was really scary for me to begin with. There were a lot of fears that I had to walk through and to shed to come to the point where I felt like I was living in my authenticity. And by doing so, I disappointed a lot of people. But it was something that I really needed to do for myself, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad, because I'm living my authenticity like I never had before that. And not because of this path necessarily, but because I followed my own way and my own heart, and I listened to what I needed. At the end of the day, the outward stuff, what our spirituality looks like on this plane, doesn't really matter. It's about that connection and that the feeling within you and your growth. So if you feel like what you're doing right now doesn't resonate with you anymore, listen to that feeling. That's your higher self, that's your inner knowing, that's spirit moving you and saying something isn't right, you need to change up, you need to move to the next thing. And it's a really important voice to listen to, because if you live a half life because you don't listen to that voice, that's on you. It doesn't make a difference to other people around you if, well, it does actually. I was going to say it doesn't make a difference to other people around you if you don't fully live in your authentic self. However, it does affect the people around you. What is most important is you doing that for yourself. Everything else will come. There may be people that will shift out of your life from this change, and that can be really scary. We can be really attached to the things that we have around us. But you will find greater joy and greater happiness than you've experienced yet if you keep following that path of love. And that path of love probably led you to where you are now and where you have been. And it's leading you somewhere else now, somewhere different, somewhere new, further along the path. And I think that it's really important and a true blessing to actually follow that voice. And that voice isn't going to lead you into harm. It's not because it wants to hurt you or take something away from you in some way. It's wanting to lead you deeper and further in. And I think that is a really beautiful thing. It can be really difficult when you start feeling this way. I've been there, like I said, and it's hard, it's difficult, and there's a lot of attachment and fear that needs to be worked through, but it's so worth it in the end. And what matters, again, is your connection with divinity. And however that happens is okay. You've just got to move with yourself and figure out what works best for you. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you all next week on Starting Out Solitary. I wish you all much love and many blessings. Bye.